I know a song about Magneto and the Titanium Man.
That's crazy. Is that the Beatles? That feels like a Beatles song.
That is Paul McCartney, who was a huge comic book fan. He wrote a song called Magneto and the Titanium Man.
Yeah.
Characters who do not typically intersect in the Marvel Universe, but that's okay.
I would agree.
And Jack Kirby's daughter was a big Paul McCartney fan, and they together went to a Wings show.
Yeah. And
Jack Kirby took backstage a drawing that he did of Paul and Linda, and it is so good.
I love that.
It's awesome. There's a picture of it that I will put here, and now you know about it.
That's extreme. Oh, I didn't even know we were rolling. This has been just a natural conversation that we have with microphones in front of us.
Checkmate.
Do you have any threes?
Green. I do have a 3. 3.
We'll go fish now.
I have an ace up your hole. See?
Oh,
we all know about it. Welcome everyone to this episode
Go Fish
of Go Fish with Michael and Marshall. If this is your first time with us, then none of this matters. But if it's not, here's an explanation. This is something new we're trying. You will have watched the Superman episode last week, so you already know about it, I guess. But just to reiterate once more time,
yes.
This is our new secondary part of the show. We're separating out the actual topic part of the show and the other stuff, the news of comic books and what we were reading of comic books, what's coming up that you should check out of comic books, perhaps, stuff like that. 2 separate shows. So you can get like your comic book news show every other week and then the regular long box every other week. I don't know that this will necessarily have, I mean, it'll still be, if you're listening on like Spotify or something, then it's under Tilting the Long Box, but it will be titled differently. It'll be long box episode whatever chronologically, but it will be like weekly polls or something. So
all this to say, we're relying on comments to give us good name ideas
for a name,
and we need them.
We need them. We need your help. We are fools and we need your help. But we're here to talk about some comic book news, what we've been reading and what might be coming up. I don't think I actually have anything for what's coming up, but I got a little bit of news and I got a little bit of what I've been reading. Which one do you want to hear first, Michael?
First, obviously, I would love to hear some news.
Are you sure?
Yeah, some comic book news.
You're 100%
specifically,
sure.
if you would mind narrowing it down to just comic book.
Because there's a lot of news.
There's always a lot of news.
Ooh, in this world?
In these unprecedented times that we've been having for 6 years.
Would you like to hear, Michael, about Comixology's bastard son?
Oh, wow. The prodigal son of our boy X. Yeah, let's have it.
He's kind of returning.
Wow. Okay.
So Comixology, I've had a long history with this app. We've talked about this on the show previously. I was, sad. I was gutted as Amazon gutted Comixology.
Pour one out for your
they
boy.
sold it in like 2015, 14 maybe to Amazon. The creators and founders of Comixology, David Steinberger and Chip Mosher, they sold it back then to Amazon because their idea was that, it seemed like they were going to steward it well based on everything they were being told and that they wanted comics to be as worldwide as possible. So this made sense to them.
Yeah.
Amazon proceeded to completely destroy this perfect application and put it inside the Kindle app and destroy any semblance of ease of buying comics digitally, discovering new comics digitally, sharing them with your friends, whatever. So it was really frustrating, and there's kind of not been a good way to read comics digitally since then.
Yeah.
Until now.
I have beef with Jeff Bezos as a result of all of this.
That's the only reason?
The thing is, I know that Jeff watches our channel, and so I want him to know, Jeff, we're not on good terms right now. I don't even really like you that much. I know you make more money just watching this stream right now than Marshall and I have ever made, ever. But we're coming after you, pal.
I'm somewhat indifferent to Jeff Bezos.
No.
He exists. That's all I have to say about him.
He took our boy.
I am upset that he killed Comixology.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason I have beef too. There's nothing else that...
He's never done anything else.
He's otherwise a perfectly unproblematic,
totally nice guy.
Upright.
We love him. And I hope that he spends all of his money on going to space every time that he possibly can.
Yeah, when he's not spending it on us.
Exactly. And maybe he should stay in space.
Got him.
You said it, not me.
Sorry, Jeff.
So here's the thing. The guys who created Comixology, like I said, David Steinberger and Chip Mosher, they seemingly have had a 10-year non-compete because now, as of like a month ago, they announced from their comic book imprint, Distillery, which I didn't know that they were the founders of, apparently.
That's cool.
They are creating a new platform for reading digital comics, for discovering digital comics, for selling digital comics, reselling digital comics, which in a way, doing it in a way that benefits the artist, which is really interesting. Do you know anything about this?
I haven't heard about this. This is news to me.
Okay, it's called Neon Ichiban. Probably something. I don't know. It's
Crazy.
also...
Can we make that a working title? Because...
It's probably a manga thing.
It probably is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They are also prioritizing manga with this, which is very cool. So here's the article from Bleeding Cool. Comixology founders David Steinberger and Chip Mosher launch new digital comics app. Debuts next month. This was written June 19th. So this month, I guess. Debuts this month with Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Distillery, Kodansha, Oni Press, and Vault Comics. Creators can autograph or sketch on digital issues and enable reselling for additional revenue. App focuses on a dedicated comics experience, moving away from Kindle's stripped down format. So what's interesting about this, I mean, it's great that it exists for one. Like, I'm glad that we have this thing that I'm getting so many pop-up ads right now. Holy crap.
Wow.
I've never seen my computer so slow.
Yeah, where is your ad blocker at right now?
I have no idea.
Where's your VPN? Thankfully, we're sponsored by NordVPN.
NordVPN.
No, we're not.
We're not, but it would be cool.
We are not sponsored at all, but we would love to be.
Sponsor us. The interesting thing about this, not only is it like a successor to Comixology seemingly, but it also is using some kind of digital authentication something. I don't know if it's a blockchain thing. I don't know if it's like some off-brand version of an NFT or something, but it's like when you buy a digital comic, it is actually an individual digital comic is the way that I'm understanding this.
Sweet.
So then a creator can sign that or do a sketch on it or something. If it's like an iPad, I guess, whatever, then it is only on yours.
Yeah.
And you can verify that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me. And that, you know, NFTs very quickly became big, stupid nonsense, like the monkeys and whatever. And it's just crap and people trying to do weird crypto junk.
Yes.
When they first announced NFTs, especially with like Beeple before he kind of went off the rails too. Beeple is an artist who was big in the area where NFTs got like really popular.
Is he the monkey guy?
No, he's a 3D artist, but he was a big part of popularizing them a lot.
Oh, good.
When it's all started, the idea of it was really interesting to me as a digital artist because it is a way to turn digital art into original art.
Yeah.
Which can actually be sold for a specific number, a higher number, rather than just there is no original.
Yeah.
It's prints. That's it. I sell it for $20 and that's all. And there's billions of them.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm doing a commission, I can, if I really wanted to, I could probably just make it an NFT. I don't know. There's environmental impacts of that and the kind of amount of computers it takes to like actually uphold the blockchain, the kind of thing where like it might actually be bad for the environment to make electric cars because of how we make the engines and stuff like that. It's that kind of weird, unfortunate backwards thing around it. It's kind of stupid and ironic.
Yes.
I don't know if that's exactly what this is, but that's the way I'm understanding it.
Now, do you think it's going to work as well in 2025 as Comixology did in like 2014 with like kind of being in that first decade of the smartphone age and
digital comics being kind of in its infancy?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the unfortunate thing they're going to have to kind of push past is that when Amazon killed Comixology, I feel like rather than finding a different platform, which doesn't really exist, and if it does, it sucks, or stick with Kindle, which also sucks, a lot of people and most people probably just went to some form of comics piracy, which is very easy.
Yes.
There's a lot of sites out there, and it's very, very easy to just find any comic online.
Totally. Yeah.
So for people to now see this new app, be excited about it, but then have to go from reading anything and everything they want to completely for free and then going to now paying for it again is going to be an interesting hurdle.
Well, and on top of that, having it maybe less accessible because they're actual like owned digital copies, which is of course distinct from things like Marvel Unlimited, where you could just go on there and read anything from their entire library like it's a streaming service.
Well, there might be a streaming component. I don't know if that's a thing or not, because I think Comixology Unlimited existed before they were part of Amazon.
I think
because Comixology had like a streaming thing.
Yes.
Where this will be something where you can stream it or download it.
Okay, good.
But I don't know if it's going to be a thing where there's like a library. I don't. Maybe there's information about that I didn't see.
It'll be interesting to find out as it like comes around and takes shape. That'll be really cool.
Yeah. But something that I think is really interesting is how they have been very intentional and specific about turning this into something that really benefits the artist, and that comes out of them creating their own imprint, digital imprint with Distillery. Yeah. Which has made some really cool books and some really interesting books, and they, through doing that, have kind of seen how the sausage is made and been able to see like, oh, people are not like rich from doing this. This isn't like a celebrity job the way that people kind of think it is because of the movies and stuff being so popular. People don't make huge amounts of money in comics. They make a pretty normal salary, and it's really heavy work, especially as the artist. The writer, writing stuff is difficult, but having to then take what Scott Snyder has written and then turn that into 22 pages every single month is huge amounts of work. So them trying to really intentionally turn this into something that is good for the artist, I think is really cool. That's what I have to say about that, Michael.
You got any more news apart from that headline?
I do, and it kind of goes hand in hand with it. You want to hear about some original art that just sold?
Original art that just sold? Sure.
For a lot of money?
Okay, I'll listen.
Okay, a lot of money. Are you familiar with Jock?
No.
Okay. Jock is a really good artist. You'd recognize his stuff if you saw it. So there's one piece of his that is maybe his most famous. That was a cover for Detective Comics number 880, written by Scott Snyder. It is, and I'll put it on screen, this one right here.
Yeah, I've seen this.
I'm sure you have. It's all over the place.
Yeah, very
So
famous.
This piece, the original art for it, just sold at auction. Jock had already sold it, so this is the perils of being an artist and selling your art too soon. There's no way of knowing how popular it was going to get. So he sold it at auction. Not he, sorry. The person who owned it sold it at auction. He had sold it previously, so he's not getting any of these proceeds. How much? I'm going to give you 3 guesses. And I'll say over or under.
Okay, amazing. We could do this like much, Price is Right style.
Exactly.
Love it.
How much do you think, you got to get as close as possible without going over. Okay. How much do you think this cover for Detective Comics went for at auction?
Okay. I'm going to start. When did you say this was created? This piece?
Created?
Yeah. Or first pub. That's fine. I'm going to
2011.
Okay. So it's not like ancient yet. I'm going to say...
No, but it is from a Scott Snyder Batman comic in 2011, which is kind of peak New 52.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. Let's say $13.5 million. Under.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go up by just a little bit. I'm going to say $16 million.
Sorry, I meant to say over. That does not count as one of your guesses. I'm sorry.
Can you believe this?
I apologize.
Can you actually believe this? All right, let's round out at a cool 10 mil then.
Over.
That was
your second guess.
Did you mean over that time?
Yes. Too high. You're thinking too high. For comparison, real quick. Action Comics.
Yeah, I'm not comparing this to
number 1.
I'm comparing things just to
auction.
My brain.
Yeah, so just for comparison, an 8.5 CGC certified Action Comics number 1, the original Superman comic book, the first, went for $6 million in 2024. So
that doesn't feel like enough dollars. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't. It seems weird, especially for how high that is, but it gives you a sense of scale.
Yeah.
So I'll give you 2 more guesses.
I love this game.
Now that you have kind of a sense of how much the comic book.
Let's bring it down to $2.6 million.
Million?
Yep.
Over. You get one more guess without going over.
Heavens.
And if you go over, then you have to give me the dollar amount that is listed on this page.
Okay. Let's go 1.2.
Wrong, you idiot.
Was it still over?
$288,000.
Oh, I was up here guessing.
You're way over. I don't know why you went so high.
I thought it was going to be something magnanimous. Like $288,000 is sizable. I would like to have it, please.
Yeah, I mean that's like
I would also like to have
years
that
of
piece,
living.
So, yeah.
So Jock's cover from Bleeding Cool. Jock's cover artwork for Detective Comics 880 by Scott Snyder and Jock from 2011 has been sold at auction by Heritage Auctions for $288,000. Jock originally posted probably the piece I'm most associated with. I sold the original just after it was published, and now the buyer is finally putting it back up for sale. Estimates are pretty high, and although I don't get a cut, I'm intrigued. How much do you think it'll go? And then the post follow-up was, so the Joker option came to an end. Sadly, I will not be getting a cent of that. It is what it is. I've made peace with it. All good.
Oh my goodness.
So it's crazy.
That is crazy. That's a crazy amount of money. And I'm jealous a little bit.
Yeah. It is crafted in ink over graphite.
Oh.
Just ink on pencil and ink.
Pencil, yeah.
Come on, man.
They make it
on
sound so
Bristol
fancy.
board with an image area of 10 by 15. So it's probably on it's on 11 by 17.
Bristol board is just their word for cardstock, I'm sure.
Well, no, it is the specific name. Of
is it a real thing?
The kind of.
Here I am trying to roast artists for being fancy.
You idiot. They are making it a little bit more fancy than it needs to be. It's signed and in excellent condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's a lot of money.
That's so good. That's a lot of money, and but that's like worth it because look at that piece. I mean, it's stellar.
It's really cool.
It's really.
I've got one piece of original art.
Yeah.
It's not from anything. Mm-hmm. It's $300 something.
Nice.
And it's that Batman in the middle.
I was gonna guess that. Yeah.
It's really cool,
and he looks so good.
He looks so good, and the artist himself has said multiple times that is like his favorite fan art that he's ever done.
And much like the Superman comic book that we talked about, Superman for All Seasons, he's like 70% chin.
Yeah.
There's so much
Pretty
chin
good.
on that man.
Very similar also to All-Star Superman.
Yeah.
Michael, you been reading anything this week at all?
Marshall, here's the thing.
It's okay.
We were just talking about Superman.
It's okay.
We talked about Superman last week, even though we're currently wearing the same clothes and have everything on the same table.
It's okay.
Absolute cinema.
It's okay.
I've been reading so much Superman.
Yeah.
In addition to the stuff we talked about for All Seasons, Kingdom Come, All-Star. Hey now, you're an All-Star. I've been reading Ultimate Superman, getting through that series.
Okay.
Little by little.
Ultimate Superman? Absolute Superman? I did the same thing when writing down Absolute Martian Manhunter and Ultimate Spider-Man. I got them backwards.
I'm unqualified for this job. I'm a failure of bike.
All right, guys. So Ultimate Martian Manhunter is my favorite Absolute comic book. It's where Martian Manhunter has a friend and he's a Martian in his brain. I'm only a few issues in. What's going on? Welcome. Hey, Michael.
You doing a podcast?
Yeah, I'm doing a show.
Dude, did I tell you that I was reading Absolute Superman and I didn't?
You didn't
and that
actually.
Was the correct
you said
name.
Ultimate Superman, but go ahead.
That never happened. I've been finishing up Absolute Superman.
Yeah, really good.
Really good. I've been reading a ton of Superman lately.
Yeah.
In preparation for the movie to come out.
The film.
Are you seeing it opening night?
I'm seeing it on the 10th, so technically before opening night, but yes.
Yeah.
Unless you have an Amazon Prime screening or you're an influencer and you've already seen it.
We're obviously influencers.
I don't want to be an influencer.
However, I am also seeing it on the 11th. 11th is the Friday, 10th is the Thursday.
Yep.
And I'm seeing it on the night of the 10th. I think I screwed that up because I was so sad that we're not going together.
Yeah, it's okay.
What is that about, Marshall? Explain.
Well, I'm going to be in Omaha Comic Con.
Being at a Comic Con and being a famous artist and
you can. I invited
selling
you.
artwork and I'm going to be.
I invited you to come with me, and you said you're busy.
Yeah, I have a jorb or whatever they call it.
Quit your jorb.
Sorry, my jorb. I was going to say sorry and then my employer's name, but I didn't feel like doxing my own name.
Give us the full name and address. So what have you been? How's the Superman books?
He's great. Strong heat vision.
Strong. Good hair.
Good hair. Typically.
Especially Ultimate Absolute Superman.
The ultimate hair on the Absolute Superman.
It's very good.
And they've been great. I have just enjoyed getting back into the roots of the character a little bit.
In a different kind of way.
Yeah.
Well, with Absolute specifically, but in general.
Yes. Yeah. And like just gearing up for a new iteration of the film series.
Yeah.
Yeah, going through, what could this reimagining be? You know, if it's an existing series, you kind of have an idea of what the vibe is going to be when you're watching it.
Yeah.
With this, you still get an idea from the advertising and the marketing.
Sure.
But you don't really know for sure what you can see. So you can kind of project onto the books you're reading. Like, could this fit into this new continuity? What would this be like? Fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing lately. And I'm looking forward to more of that.
Good.
What have you been reading?
I've been also reading some
Marshall
Ultimate Absolute books. I have been reading Absolute Martian Manhunter. I'm a couple issues in, 2 or 3 issues in.
Oh, it's so good.
It is really good. It's interesting, and I don't understand it yet, but I like it because it's like confusing and it's slowly kind of putting the things together. Like, I mean, the art is really, really cool. The way that the Martian side of John Jones is like coming out through some kind of like sixth sense that he has, and where I'm at least, it's not clear if he is like a Martian from Mars or anything like that, and he forgot his past or whatever. I don't know if there's anything like that, or if it is a completely different take in some form. I have no idea, but I'm really interested to find out. The art's fantastic. Denise Camp's writing is also really good, as it has been in the Ultimates, which I've also been reading. Really, really good as well.
Yep.
I'm really liking it. Ultimate Spider-Man number 18 just came out. It was good to finally kind of get back to seeing Harry and Peter.
Yep.
Because it's been a long time since there was an issue that focused on, it felt like what the actual story was, instead of just kind of treading water for a little bit for some reason. Mm-hmm. But I liked it a lot, and it's pushing things forward in an interesting direction. And looking forward to Fantastic Four. I started reading Ryan North's Fantastic Four. I started reading Ryan North's Fantastic Four run, which I think finished somewhat recently. But it's really good, and it's a good starting point. He's the guy who, I don't have it in here, I don't think, but he's the guy who did the graphic novelization for Slaughterhouse 5 that I was reading. Oh,
he did that one. And this is extremely
really
colorful Fantastic Four. This is amazing. Okay.
The covers are Alex Ross.
Oh, no wonder.
So
Alex Ross,
topical.
The best guy.
Yeah.
The bestest boy.
A little bit.
I've ever seen do it, except for one person, my buddy Marshall.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
But that run's really good, and if you want a good starting point for Fantastic Four going into the movie, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
That isn't super continuity heavy or super like heavy in general. Like Hickman's run is really good, but it is kind of intense and leads directly into Secret Wars. And if you haven't read Hickman's Avengers, it gets confusing and stuff like that. Going back to the original comics is always difficult.
Yeah.
So if you want a good jumping on point, the newest run is really fun.
Yeah.
And I've heard that it goes to really cool places, and I'm excited to keep reading it.
You know, I'm not looking forward to the new Fantastic Four movie because they didn't bring back Chris Evans. Why'd they put in Pedro Pascal? He's just the popular Hollywood boy.
They should have brought back Chris Evans as Reed Richards.
As Reed Richards, famous ladies man.
That would be a weird twist.
Bring back.
That would be like casting, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr., right?
Can you Dr. Doom. What a dumb idea.
That'd be so weird.
That'll be a fine idea.
It'll be have fine. No hope.
I've been of the opinion this entire time that that'll be just fine. It'll be fine. There'll be some in-universe explanation that'll be like, yeah, sure.
But there shouldn't have to be.
What do you mean?
You shouldn't have to retroactively create some stupid reason for your dumb decisions.
No, I'm sure it wasn't retroactive.
For your money-grabbing nonsense.
Marshall hates Marvel Comics.
I don't hate Marvel Comics. I have beef with Marvel Studios.
He hates Disney. He thinks Kathleen Kennedy is a hack.
I think Kathleen Kennedy is an extremely competent producer, and everything that's come out after Andor seems to be. I know, but I think it's interesting that the narrative for a long time has been that she's the problem a little bit, and I've been on board with that at times. But after Andor, it seems like what's happened is that the creatives have actually been a little bit the problem, and her policy so much of the time has been just let people do what they want in the Star Wars universe. Yeah, which has worked for better or worse. But it's interesting then that she gets the blame for that, because then the do whatever you want happens to have been somewhat girl focused. So people say, well, that has to be her, a girl pushing that.
A woke lady.
Yeah, which is interesting.
No, like, it's just a fan. Nothing's ever going to be good enough for certain fans. Yeah. And unfortunately, those fans are also the squeaky wheel. You know, so they get all the coverage.
They get the most interesting thing that Star Wars has done in a long time canceled in The Acolyte.
I'm freaking wound.
Yeah.
Give me that meme with Zac Efron and Adam Levine. Not Adam Levine.
Devine.
Adam Devine.
Don't know what it is, but I'm not going to search for it. Thanks for being here for the inaugural opening of this kind of show. We're going to have a regular episode next week. I don't know that it's probably Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, we'll probably be talking about Fantastic Four, because the beginning of the month is Superman, the end of the month is Fantastic Four, July. So presumably the next episode we're going to be talking about some amount of Fantastic Four runs, the books that inspired the movie. Maybe if we can figure out what it would be, maybe some Franklin Richards stuff, some classic stuff, something with Galactus, and then we'll do a little bingo, and then you can check it out on Cinema Lounge. At this point, I think this should be going out, if not the same week as the movie is coming out, then the week after, right? Because this will be next week in our time, because the Superman episode comes out Wednesday, and then this is next week. So Superman is the week after that.
This comes out this Wednesday. Next week is next week. Or no, this is next week.
Yes. And the week after that is Superman.
What is today but yesterday's tomorrow? But the week after that is Superman.
Okay, so we will have done our little bingo game, and then you can see on Cinema Lounge, we'll do a little thing, have it be its own thing, I guess, whatever, because I don't want to put movie thing on whatever, and we can have a Cinema Lounge pop up.
I don't know when this will drop. When we'll drop that Cinema Lounge? Maybe the Wednesday the 16th, potentially?
Yeah. We can just kind of do a short piggyback on the Fantastic Four recording or something.
Whatever we do, the fans will watch for it.
Yeah.
And
but you can check it out. We'll give our full thoughts on the Superman movie on Cinema Lounge, which is the sister channel to this channel, whatever we might be rebranding in some form. Keep a lookout for that. That's what I have to say about that. So check all those things out. Probably Fantastic Four next time.
Yes.
So see you next time. Thanks for being here.
Yep. Keep reading comics. Love you.
Good luck.